This happened. Hello beautiful people of the internet. As you may see, I am not a stranger to bright hair colors. I have been dyeing my hair for 5 years now. I think it's a bit less. About 5 years. I think I have my fair share of experience with bright hair, so I thought I would take this opportunity, now that my hair is still all vibrant and pretty, to make a video about hair dye, or hair care, or whatever you want to call it. As you can see, hair dye and hair care is something that I'm very passionate about. I have been known among my friends for being the one with the bright hair and stuff, and like I said, I have been dyeing my hair for about 5 years, so I think I have my fair share of experiences and stuff I can say about it and share with you guys, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. At first I wanted to make one larger video, but I have been thinking it over and I think it's better for me to just split them down in 2 different videos. In this video I would like to talk about the upsides and the downsides of getting bright hair colors, especially on my video about the good dye young that I made like half a year ago now. I had so many questions of people who had never dyed their hair and wanted to use the products and stuff, and they had a lot of questions about it, so I thought I would just put together a little list of pros and cons of having bright hair and the things that you should probably consider before you want to have that. I don't really know why I really wanted to make this video actually. Thank you for ruining it, boss. I don't really know why I wanted to make a video about this, because when you look on YouTube, there are so many people who have already done it. So the pros and cons that you will hear here are not completely new things that have never been said before. These are just things that I experienced and the things that I wanted to share with you, and I thought that you would really need to know before you want to go and dye your hair a bright color. So now that I've said the little intro thing, now that I've had my little disclaimer kind of thing, we can proceed to the ups and downs of having bright hair, because this video does not need to be unnecessarily long again. So I'm going to start with the upsides of having bright hair, and the very first thing that I can say about having a bright hair color is that it just looks fucking awesome. I'm sorry, but I love to watch people with bright hair. I feel like they bring so much color into the world, and I really like that. I just think it's unique, and as you all may know by now, I am a big supporter of people's uniqueness. You are unique, your hair looks fucking awesome, and I don't know, I guess I don't really know what else I can say about that. The second upside about having bright hair colors is that it is a conversation starter, no matter where you go. This can also be a downside if you are a very introverted person who doesn't like to talk to people when you're out and about. I personally am very extroverted. I love striking up conversations with people I've never met before. Bright hair can definitely make sure that people talk to you about your hair. It is a conversation starter, it breaks the ice. People will come up to you and talk to you about it, and I think that's really cool. The pro number 3 is that no matter where you go, people will find you. If you are in a big crowd and you lose your friends and you may not really find them that quick anymore, they will find you. Although it's rather funny, I do think that that's some sort of upside, because that way you're not really gonna get lost again, because people will see you walking for miles away. Pro number 4 is that every hairstyle will look automatically cooler. Doesn't matter what you do with it. If you just leave it loose like I did today, or if you just style it with a little thing, you can put it in a ponytail, just make a little braid. Every single boring day-to-day hairstyle looks so much cooler instantly, especially if you have different colors like I have right now. When I make a braid with these colors, it just looks fabulous AF, and I love it. Your hair kind of becomes an accessory on its own, and I think that's a really cool thing. And the last pro that I have for you, so pro number 5, is that people automatically think that you're an artsy person, which I think is a great thing. I like to be associated with art because I think that having bright hair is some sort of art on your own. My music is an art form as well, and I just love it when people think that you're artsy or creative, because it's not really that I want to give out that kind of vibe, but I do like to be acknowledged for my creativity and my artsiness, I guess, and I feel like having a bright hair color is definitely something that people associate with art, and I just really really like that. All these pros are very subjective and the cons as well. So if you're here for a very objective kind of opinion, then you are not at the right place. But of course, having bright hair is not all rainbow and sunshines, well, depending on the colors you have in your hair, I guess. Unfortunately, there are also a few downsides to having bright hair, which again are probably very subjective things, but these are the things that you should take into consideration, I guess, before you decide to have a bright hair color. The first downside is that 9 times out of 10 you will have to bleach your hair. I know that there is a way you can do it that is a lot healthier. I think it's with vitamin something. I don't know the name, I've never done it myself, I've always just used a chemical bleach. But I know that there's a less damaging way to kind of extract the color from your hair, but I don't really know what that is, so it's kind of pointless for me to mention it here. But yeah, unless you have a very light blonde color, you will have to bleach your hair. Bleach is very damaging. Your hair will be a mess. I guess that's just something you'll have to learn to live with if you want to have bright hair. Another downside about having bright hair is that the maintenance is absolute hell. Oh my god, that's probably the biggest downside about this. I have never seen a hair dye, a bright hair dye, that is not semi-permanent. So I've never seen a permanent very bright hair dye before in my life. Maybe they are out there, I have no idea. Maybe I just didn't do my research good enough. I do not know of any of those kinds of hair dye, which means you're stuck with semi-permanent hair dye, which means that the color will fade out very easily. After washing your hair a few times, your colors will be so much less vibrant already. Because your hair grows, you'll also have your roots that you'll have to re-bleach and re-dye, and there's a lot of work that goes into it, and frankly it's also very expensive. In my opinion, it's all worth it, but you do have to realize that it's not just Tup's bright colors and then it will stay bright. That's not how it works, unfortunately. Downside number Downside number 3 is that your hair dye will stain everything. And I really mean everything. Towels will get stained, white and pastel-y clothes will get stained, your bathroom will get stained, pillowcases will get stained. You will have hair color absolutely everywhere. Depending on the color, it is easier to get out of your clothes and bathroom furniture, but I've had several cases of bright hair in which the colors did not come out of the furniture, and my mom was absolutely furious. So keep in mind that you will have stains everywhere and the color will get off everywhere and everything will have the color of your hair. Downside number 4 is that people will automatically assume things about you that are not true. I guess this can be a positive point because I did kind of make it a positive point with the artsy thing just a bit earlier in the video, but it can also be a downside, as in people for some reason think I'm a rebel, that I don't respect my parents, and that I am a party animal who parties all the time and who drinks all the time and does drugs and stuff. I am not that kind of person. Quite the contrary, actually. I don't like to go out, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs. I've always listened to my parents, I've always respected my elders and stuff. A lot of people assume that I'm a troublemaker, although I'm actually completely not. People can assume positive things like the artsy thing, but they can also assume negative things, and unfortunately the negative things occur a lot more than the positive ones. So it's just something you'll have to take into consideration if you want bright hair. And then the last downside that I have, so number 5, is that people will stare at you no matter what. This can be an upside if you like to be the center of attention, or if you like people looking at you. In that case, it's an upside and you just go for it, you do you. It's great, I don't know why I'm doing this. But it can be quite uncomfortable at times. If you are a very introverted person who doesn't like to be the center of attention and who doesn't like people staring at you, that will happen if you have bright hair. I am quite used to it, not that I really want to be the center of attention, but I don't really mind, I just don't really care, I guess. As some days it can really give you a lot of confidence, but other days when you're feeling very bad and people are looking at you, it can just piss you off. So people will stare at you, and that is something that you will have to live with if you want to have bright hair. So that's about it for the pros and cons. Of course there are a lot more upsides and a lot more downsides, but I thought I would just tone it down to 5-5 because I have the tendency to ramble a lot during these kinds of videos, and I don't want to make like a 3-hour video for things that I can just say in about 15 minutes. But yeah, These were the upsides and downsides, things that you should definitely take into consideration if you want to have bright hair. If there are any other upsides or downsides that you can think of and that I didn't mention but you think that people will really find helpful, please leave a comment below. Help your people out. I'm sure that everyone will appreciate it. If you don't have bright colored hair, you can also tell me things that you think can be an upside or a downside. The comments are open for you. I will try to react to as much of them as I possibly can, and yeah, I guess that's it then. Although I don't usually make videos like this, I do hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you very soon. Thanks again for watching. Bye!